Do you ever wonder why AI gives you surface level answers instead of tailored advice? The problem might be in how you frame the role. And in this video, I'm going to show you the difference between giving AI a role and asking it to act as something. Like a chef teaching home cooks versus training sous chefs, the answer is going to be different for each of those scenarios. And by the end, you'll know how to get sharper, more useful results without rewriting your prompt 20 times or getting frustrated that you're not getting the answers you were hoping for. I'm Lee Drozak, and I help solopreneurs and creators cut through the noise of AI. After doing a lot of research for my context library workshop, I've learned a lot about prompting and how to define your asks for the information that you're really searching for. Okay, so let's talk about performing a role versus acting as. Performing a role sets the default identity or the expertise of the AI. It's the big umbrella. Your role is a lawyer. The AI now thinks and speaks like a lawyer in general. This covers tone, perception, and baseline assumptions. It's like hiring someone for a job title. You're bringing in a whole skill set and not telling them which part to use yet. So an example would be your role as a lawyer. Talk like an attorney using legal framework. Now, acting as is really a specific role. It narrows the stance or the function for that role. You're not just saying be a lawyer. You're saying be a lawyer who is acting as a research assistant. It's the lens or the hat that you're wearing for that moment. Like asking a chef to act as a cooking instructor for home cooks, suddenly the explanation shifts, even though they're still a chef. Or a lawyer acting as a research assistant to find citations and skip the courtroom drama. It pushes the specificity even further by defining the audience and the context. Okay, so let's take it a step further and let me show you it in action. So in this case, we're going to say act as your role. Your role is a chef. And tell me the best way to prepare an onion for sauteing. So what it's going to do is it's going to assume a general role of a chef. And now it's going to say, okay, choose the onion, cut it, the cutting process, pre-cooking step. So it's basically giving you a generic overview of cutting an onion. So now we're going to change it and give it a little more context. And we're going to say, your role is a chef, and you are going to act as a teacher for a home cook who is just beginning cooking lessons. Tell me how to prepare an onion for sauteing. So now not only am I giving it a role, I'm telling it to act as something. Now you see, it's still giving you the information, but what it's doing is it's taking it into its most basic preparation, right? First things first, let's talk about safety, because now it's not assuming that you know how to use knives or have knife skills. Then it's going to break it down into setting it up, the basic cuts. Now let's try it again, okay? Your role is still a chef, but now you are going to act as someone who is training a staff of cooks for your restaurant. You are teaching them the best way to prepare onions for sauteing. So now it's still the same ask, but we're flipping the script by saying, you're still a chef, you're still teaching, but instead of one home cook, you are now training a staff to get the job done. And let's show you how the difference is in how it answers. So you're not only telling it this is the overarching thing, This is the specific, and here is the context of the matter. And you'll see what it starts with: kitchen standards, speed, consistency, professionalism, the breakdown. And it goes back to speed and volume because it's not thinking a home cook cooking for a small amount of people or a smaller meal. It's looking at it as speed and volume because in a restaurant, it's about speed and volume. So you'll see by giving it a role, you're asking for a general. By giving it an acting as, it's going to give you more pinpointed, user-friendly information. It's going to manipulate the answer to the context because it comes down to the context. And by defining role or acting is part of the way that you give it the context to give you the answer that is most helpful. Okay, so there you have it. Defining a role versus telling AI to act as. You can use them interchangeably. Your role is and your acting is to give you the proper context to the ask that you are giving it. You can also layer that acting is, so your role is a chef, acting as someone who's teaching a home cook. And once you get that answer, you can change it up and say, now your role is to act as an instructor for a class of chefs for a restaurant. It's going to then change the context of the answer. So instead of answering on a basic level, it's now going to answer more targeted towards the context that you are looking for. Because when it comes down to it, when you're prompting, it's all about the context that you give the AI to get you the answers that you need. And that's the reason that I created the Context Library Workshop, was to show you how to create documents to use over and over again, whether you're asking AI, a teammate, a partner, or just need it for your own knowledge. Thanks for watching this video, and if you found this helpful, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.